Hello and welcome to day 174 of our Chronological Bible in a Year reading. And today we have 1 Kings chapters 12, 13, and 14. 1 Kings chapter 12. And Rehoboam went to Shechem, for all Israel had gone to Shechem to appoint him to reign. And it came to be, when Jeroboam, son of Nebat, heard this, he was still in Mitzrayim, which is Egypt, for he had fled from the presence of sovereign Shalomo, and had been dwelling in Mitzrayim, that they sent and called him. And Jeroboam and all the assembly of Israel came and spoke to Rehoboam, saying, Your father made our yoke hard, and now lighten the hard service of your father, and his heavy yoke which he put on us, then we serve you. And he said to them, Go away for 3 days, and come back to me. And the people went. Then sovereign Rehoboam consulted the elders who stood before his father Shalomo while he still lived, and said, What do you advise me to answer these people? And they spoke to him, saying, If you are a servant to these people today, and shall serve them, and shall answer them, and speak good words to them, then they shall be your servants all the days. But he ignored the advice of the elders. He ignored the advice the elders gave him, and consulted the young men who had grown up with him, who stood before him. And he said to them, What advice do you give? How should we answer this people who have spoken to me, saying, Lighten the yoke which your father put on us? And the young men who had grown up with him spoke to him, saying, Say this to the people who have spoken to you, saying, Your father made our yoke heavy, but you make it lighter on us. Say this to them, My little finger is thicker than my father's waist. And now my father laid a heavy yoke on you, but I add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I flog you with scourges. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam the 3rd day, as the sovereign had spoken, saying, Come back to me the 3rd day. But the sovereign answered the people harshly, and ignored the advice which the elders had given him, and he spoke to them according to the advice of the young men, saying, My father made your yoke heavy, but I add to your yoke. My father flogged you with whips, but I flog you with scourges. So the sovereign did not listen to the people, for the turn of events was from Yahuwah, in order to establish his word, which Yahuwah had spoken by Ahiah the Shilonite to Jeroboam son of Nebat. And all Israel saw that the sovereign did not listen to them. Then the people answered the sovereign, saying, What portion do we have in David? And there is no inheritance in the son of Yishai. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to your own house, O David. So Israel went to their tents. But as for the children of Israel, who dwelt in the cities of Yehudah, Rehoboam reigned over them. And when sovereign Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the compulsory labor, all Israel stoned him with stones, and he died. And sovereign Rehoboam hastily mounted his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. Thus Israel revolted against the house of David to this day. Excuse me. And it came to be, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam had come back, they sent for him and called him to the congregation, and appointed him to reign over all Israel. There was none who followed the house of David, except the tribe of Yehudah only. And Rehoboam came to Jerusalem, and he assembled all the house of Yehudah with the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men of battle, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring back the reign to Rehoboam, son of Shalomo. But the word of Elohim came to Shemaiah, the man of Elohim, saying, Speak to Rehoboam, son of Shalomo, sovereign of Yehudah, and to all the house of Yehudah and Benjamin, and to the rest of the people, saying, Thus said Yahuwah, Do not go up or fight against your brothers, the children of Israel. Let every man return to his house, for this matter is from me. So they obeyed the word of Yahuwah, and turned back according to the word of Yahuwah. And Jeroboam built Shechem in the mountains of Ephraim, and dwelt there. And he went out from there and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, Now the reign shall return to the house of David. If these people go up to do slaughterings in the house of Yahuwah at Jerusalem, then the heart of this people shall turn back to their master Rehoboam, sovereign of Yehudah, and they shall slay me and go back to Rehoboam, sovereign of Yehudah. So the sovereign took counsel and made 2 calves of gold, and said to the people, It is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem. See your mighty ones, O Yisrael, which brought you up from the land of Mitzrayim. And he put up one in Beth-el, and the other he put in Dan. And this matter became a sin, for the people went before the one as far as Dan. And he made the house of high places, and made priests from all sorts of people who were not of the sons of Levi. And Jeroboam performed a festival on the 15th day of the 8th month, like the festival that was in Yehudah, and he offered on the altar. So he did at Beth-el, slaughtering to the calves that he had made. And at Beth-el he appointed the priests of the high places which he had made. And he made offerings on the altar which he had made at Beth-el on the 15th day of the 8th month, in the month which he had devised in his own heart. And he performed a festival for the children of Israel, and offered on the altar and burned incense. Chapter 13. And see, a man of Elohim went from Yehudah to Beth-el by the word of Yahuwah, while Jeroboam was standing by the altar to burn incense. And he cried out against the altar by the word of Yahuwah, and said, O altar, altar, thus said Yahuwah, see, a son is to be born to the house of David. Yoshayahu is his name. And on you he shall offer the priests of the high places who burn incense on you, and men's bones be burned on you. And he gave a sign the same day, saying, This is the sign which Yahuwah had spoken. See, the altar is split apart, and the ashes on it are poured out. And it came to be, when sovereign Jeroboam heard of the saying of the man of Elohim, who cried out against the altar in Beth-el, that he stretched out his hand from the altar, saying, Seize him. Then his hand, which he stretched out toward him, dried up, so that he was unable to bring it back to him. And the altar was split apart, and the ashes poured out from the altar, according to the sign which the man of Elohim had given by the word of Yahuwah. Excuse me. And the sovereign answered and said to the man of Elohim, Please appease the face of Yahuwah your Elohim, and pray for me, that my hand might be restored to me. And the man of Elohim appeased the face of Yahuwah, and the sovereign's hand was restored to him, and became as it was before. The sovereign then said to the man of Elohim, Come home with me, and refresh yourself, and I give you a gift. But the man of Elohim said to the sovereign, If you were to give me half your house, I do not go in with you, nor do I eat bread nor drink water in this place. For so he commanded me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, Do not eat bread nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came. So he went another way, and did not return by the way he came to Beth-el. And a certain old Nabi, which is a prophet, was dwelling in Beth-el, and his sons came and told him all the works that the man of Elohim had done that day in Beth-el, the words which he had spoken to the sovereign. And their father said to them, Which way did he go? And his sons had seen which way the man of Elohim went, who came from Yehudah. And he said to his sons, Saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it, and went after the man of Elohim, and found him sitting under a terebinth. And he said to him, Are you the man of Elohim who came from Yehudah? And he said, I am. And he said to him, Come home with me and eat bread. And he said, I am not able to return with you. I am not able to return with you, or to go in with you, nor am I to eat bread or drink water with you in this place. For a word came to me by the word of Yahuwah, Do not eat bread nor drink water there, nor return by going the way you came. And he said to him, I too am a Nabi like you, and a messenger spoke to me by the word of Yahuwah, saying, Bring him back with you to your house, and let him eat bread and drink water. But he lied to him. So he turned back with him, and ate bread in his house, and drank water. And it came to be, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahuwah came to the Nabi, who had brought him back. And he cried out to the man of Elohim, who came from Yehudah, saying, Thus said Yahuwah, Because you have rebelled against the mouth of Yahuwah, and have not guarded the command which Yahuwah your Elohim commanded you, and turned back, and ate bread and drank water in the place of which he said to you, Do not eat bread nor drink water. Your body shall not enter the burying place of your fathers. Hold on, I got a sticky page here. Okay. And it came to be, after he had eaten bread, and after he had drunk, that he saddled the donkey for him. for the Nabi whom he had brought back. And he went, and a lion met him on the way and killed him, and his body was thrown on the way. And the donkey was standing by it, and the lion was standing by the body. And see, men were passing by and saw the body thrown on the way, while the lion was standing by the body. And they went and reported it in the city where the old Nabi dwelt. And the Nabi who had brought him back from the way heard it, and said, It is the man of Elohim who rebelled against the word of Yahuwah. And Yahuwah gave him to the lion, and it tore him apart and killed him, according to the word of Yahuwah which he spoke to him. And he spoke to his sons, saying, Saddle the donkey for me. And they saddled it. So he went and found his body thrown on the way, and the donkey and the lion standing by the body. And the lion had not eaten the body, nor mauled the donkey. And the Nabi lifted up the body of the man of Elohim, and placed it on the donkey, and brought it back. And the old Nabi came to the city to mourn and to bury him, and he placed his body in his own tomb. And they lamented over him, saying, O my brother! And it came to be, after he had buried him, that he spoke to his son, saying, When I am dead, then you shall bury me in the tomb where the man of Elohim is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones. For the word which he cried out by the word of Yahuwah against the altar in Beth El, and against all the houses of the high places which are in the cities of Shomeron, shall certainly come to be. After this event, Jeroboam did not turn from his evil way, but again he made priests from all sorts of people for the high places. Whoever desired he ordained to become one of the priests of the high places. And this matter was the sin of the house of Jeroboam, even to cut it off and destroy it from the face of the earth. And then we have chapter 14. At that time, Abiah the son of Jeroboam became sick. And Jeroboam said to his wife, Please arise and disguise yourself, so they do not know that you are the wife of Jeroboam, and go to Shiloh. See, Ahiah the Nabi is there, who spoke that I would be sovereign over this people. And you shall take with you 10 loaves and cakes and a jar of honey, and go to him. Let him declare to you what becomes of the child. And Jeroboam's wife did so, and rose up and went to Shiloh, and came to the house of Ahiah. But Ahiyahu was unable to see, for his eyes had dimmed because of his age. And Yahuwah had said to Ahiyahu, See, the wife of Jeroboam is coming to ask you a word about her son, for he is sick. Speak to her thus and thus, for it shall be when she comes in that she makes herself strange. And it came to be, when Ahiyahu heard the sound of her footsteps as she came to the door, he said, Come in, wife of Jeroboam. Why are you making yourself strange? And I have been sent to you with heaviness. Go, say to Jeroboam, Thus said Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, Because I exalted you from among the people, and made you ruler over my people Israel, and tore the reign away from the house of David, and gave it to you, and you have not been as my servant David, who guarded my commands, and who followed me with all his heart to do only what was right in my eyes. But you have done more evil than all who are before you. For you have gone and made for yourself other mighty ones, and molded images to provoke me, and have cast me behind your back. Therefore, see, I am bringing evil to the house of Jeroboam, and shall cut off from Jeroboam every male in Israel, whether shut up or left at large, and sweep away the remnant of the house of Jeroboam, as one sweeps away dung until it is all gone. Those of Jeroboam who die in the city the dogs eat, and those who die in the field the birds of the Shamayim, which is the heavens, eat. For Yahuwah has spoken it. And you arise, go to your house. When your feet enter the city, the child shall die. And all Yisrael shall mourn for him and bury him, for he is the only one of Jeroboam who shall come to the grave, because in him there is found a good report toward Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, and the house of Jeroboam. And Yahuwah shall raise up for himself a sovereign over Israel, who cuts off the house of Jeroboam this day and even now. And Yahuwah shall smite Israel as a reed is shaken in the water, and shall pluck Israel from this good land which he gave to their fathers, and shall scatter them beyond the river, because they made their Asherim, provoking Yahuwah. And he shall give Israel up because of the sins of Jeroboam, who sinned and who made Israel sin. And the wife of Jeroboam rose up and went and came to Tirzah. When she came to the threshold of the house, the child died. And they buried him, and all Yisrael lamented for him, according to the word of Yahuwah which he spoke through his servant Ahayahu the Nabi. And the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, how he fought and how he reigned, see, they are written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of Israel. In the days that Jeroboam reigned, it was 22 years. So he slept with his fathers, and Nadab his son reigned in his place. Meanwhile Rehoboam son of Shalomo reigned in Yehudah. Rehoboam was 41 years old when he became sovereign, and he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahuwah had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Yehudah did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, and they provoked him to jealousy with their sins which they committed, more than all that their fathers had done. For they also built for themselves high places, and pillars, and asherim on every high hill, and on every high hill and under every green tree. And there were also cult prostitutes in the land. They did according to all the abominations of the Gentiles, which Yahuwah dispossessed before the children of Israel. And it came to be in the 5th year of sovereign Rehoboam that Shishak, sovereign of Mitzrayim, came up against Jerusalem. And he took away the treasures of the house of Yahuwah and the treasures of the sovereign's house. He even took away all. And he took away all the shields of gold which Shalomo had made. And sovereign Rehoboam made shields of bronze to replace them, and entrusted them into the hands of the chiefs of the guard, who guarded the entrance of the sovereign's house. And it came to be, whenever the sovereign went into the house of Yahuwah, the guards would bring them, then take them back into the guard room. And the rest of the acts of Rehoboam and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the sovereigns of of the sovereigns of Yehudah? And there was fighting between Rehoboam and Jeroboam all the days. So Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. And the name of his mother was Naamah the Ammonitess. And Abiam his son reigned in his place. And that concludes our reading for today. Thank you for joining, and I hope you have been reading along. And may peace and blessings and love be upon you. See you in the next one.